65 people.
So,
Shall we start, Jason?
yeah, maybe Leo, you can like try exiting the Google Meet and then jumping back in. I have configured you as co-host.
Yeah.
I'll share the whole update.
So, one more step, guys. So, Leo is on board with us. Good. We will start the session. So, I hear someone from Philippines here. It's Christine.
Where are the people from the Philippines? Davao and
Yeah.
Cebu.
Oh, yeah. Like, how you say, like, magandang, not hapon. Hapon is afternoon, right? How you say this?
Magandang gabi.
Magandang, sorry?
Magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi.
Yes.
Magandang gabi.
Magandang gabi.
Yeah, that is good evening in Philippines.
Yeah.
But mostly we just say GM.
Oh, GM. Okay. Those are the working days, right? You cannot do it in market, Christian market, right? Ikinalugod kong makilala ka.
Wow.
That's it. You can
That's Tagalog.
wow. Multi-talented.
Nah,
Multi-talented.
I just know only
What
the
are
good.
you the host?
Yeah. Selamat pagi dari Indonesia semuanya.
Selamat malam.
Good morning, good morning.
Nice. Okay, so Leo, you already good? Can you try to speak?
I can speak, but I don't think I can pin myself on the call.
We can take turns.
Yeah. We can see you, but do you hear us? Do you hear our voice?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I can hear you guys. I can hear you guys.
Our
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I think since there is no issue, but the issue is just you cannot see the screen, right?
No,
Yeah,
I can see the screen fine. I just cannot pin myself.
Okay.
okay.
So that's fine. I mean, that's fine.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
We can
We'll
start.
just start first then. So thank you guys. Good evening, GM, and good morning as well again. So here from BlockDevId, we are as a host. My name is Dennis, as head of community of BlockDevId, and here with us, Ron.
Hello, I'm Ron from the BlockDevId too. So yeah, we both host this AMA kickoff for Lisk Builders Challenge round 3.
Yeah, and we're really like close partner with Lisk, and we're like collaborating with Lisk for the previous Lisk Builder Challenge, Lisk Builder Challenge round 1 and Lisk Builder Challenge round 2. And we're happy to come back with Lisk Builder Challenge round 3. And here with us for the AMA, we have Alexis from Lisk, and Christine from ETHPhilippines, and also Leo from sqrDAO. So maybe we can start from a bit introduction from all the speakers here, starting with Alexis. So Alexis, the time is yours.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So happy to be here with everyone. I'm Alexis. I'm the ecosystem lead at Lisk for Southeast Asia. So very happy that we are doing the third round together. So if you're new to Lisk Builders Challenge, to Lisk, please stay tuned to the AMA. We're going to be sharing a lot of cool information, everything you need to know about the Builders Challenge. What are some of the tips, as well as best practices that you can take, to succeed in the Builders Challenge. So very happy to have with us as well our partners from all across Southeast Asia, right? From Philippines, Leo from Vietnam, and then of course BlockDev from Indonesia. So we're really excited to be bringing this all across Southeast Asia. So thank you again for joining us, and yes, let's look forward to what the speakers have to also say. So maybe I'll pass it on to either Christine or Leo.
Okay, I guess I'll go.
Yeah, lady first. Lady first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I guess I'll go first. I'm Pham, and I'm from ETHPhilippines. As one of the core contributors of ETH, my main job is to find the best talent and the most determined people in Web3 and get them to build things and build codes build cool stuff. And yeah, that's basically our mission in ETH to grow the ecosystem here in the Philippines.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for supporting this Lisk Builders challenge from Philippines. I think your support is really valuable, Christine.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So going to Leo. Xin chào, Leo. So the time is yours.
Hey. How's everyone doing? My name's Leo, or Long in Vietnamese, mean dragon. So, for sqrDAO, we like the BlockDevId of Vietnam. I think simply put. So we are like builders and founders and developer community in Vietnam. We do a lot of stuff like this, right? Like activities that relate to the local builders, local founders, and the local developers. So developer workshops, training, gathering meetups. Actually tonight, like a bunch of members meeting up in Singapore for hot pot. But I'm here, so I have to hang out with everyone online. And so later I'll hop on and check on the other guys as well. But yeah, so our goal is, I guess, similar to you guys. That we're really focused on the Vietnam market. That we want to empower people to become builders and founders and creators on chain. And happy to be here, sharing everyone what I love to answer any question about Vietnam, or just about Web3 in general. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Christine, for your guys' introduction. So yeah, right now we are doing the kickoff for Lisk Builder Challenge Round 3. So yeah, I'm gonna jump into the first question for you guys. So like, what makes this Lisk Builder Challenge Round 3 is important in your country, since you guys maybe represent as a different country? So yeah, maybe that's one of the things that you can guys see why this is kind of a hackathon or Lisk Builder that is important in your country. So,
Yeah. So
Yeah, start from.
do I go first or?
yeah. Okay,
Alexis
you
and
can
Leo.
you can go to Christy.
Oh, sorry.
I-
Okay.
Maybe
So
allow
in
me
the
to. Sorry. Oh, sorry, Christy. Oh, please go ahead.
Yeah, so in the Philippines, we have like a lot of raw talent. We have students, there are indie devs, but yeah, most of them don't have structured opportunities. So when it comes to their ideas, so they really don't have a lot of avenues to test it against real world standards. So programs like Lisk Builders give them this launch pad. So it's not just about the prizes; it's more about the access to the mentors, exposure to our global partners, and also the confidence that they are building as they go along through the process of joining hackathons and then presenting their ideas. That means a lot for our grassroots community.
Great. Like we wish that Lisk Builder Challenge Round 3 is one of the impactful events for blockchain developers community in Philippines. I know like Philippines is so diverse, right? It's just similar with Indonesia. There is Mindanao's Islands and Luzon Islands, and each of them they have
Yeah.
their cities, right? So we hope that these events can like unite you guys as well and be like impactful events for Philippines builders. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely one of the most. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Okay.
going next, Alexis,
Alexis?
please. Ladies
Um,
first.
Yeah, sure. So I think like anyway, fun fact. So the last winner from Builders Challenge Round 2 was actually from Philippines. So we actually had two finalists that came from the Philippines. And one of them won the entire Builders Challenge. So I think it's like a testament to how high quality the builder community there can be, and we're really happy to be supporting Philippines and doing more in the Philippines. And for those who might be new to Lisk or not too sure about what to do, Lisk, we are a layer 2 built on Ethereum, so we are part of the Optimism Super Group. So using the same technology as well as in the same ecosystem as other well-known chains that you may have heard of, like Base, Renfro, World Chain, Unichain. And one of our is to really bring and scale Ethereum in high growth markets like Asia. That's really like the call of what we do. And we believe a lot in the potential of Southeast Asia. So for Lisk, like one of our core and exclusive focus is actually supporting builders and users in high growth markets like Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. So obviously, like with Lisk Builders Challenge, it's really important for us because this is our commitment as well as a way for us to really help grow the ecosystem here in Southeast Asia. And just adding on to like what Christine was talking about as well, a lot of builders we see in Southeast Asia, maybe they are new to Web3, maybe they have been building for a long time, but one of the significant gaps that we saw was that opportunity gap that builders, in these markets lack compared to those in more developed markets like US, for example, or Europe. And this was actually created to give, everyone, right, any aspiring like founder or Web3 builders to be able to turn ideas into something tangible, right, and be able to kickstart the journey in Web3, right? So essentially, we're trying to, make it easy for anyone to be able to build on Web3, and we want to be that partner that allows you to do so, across your journey in building on Web3. So we don't see it as just a buildathon, right? This is actually, a full support system that we are offering to all the builders, all the developers, all the potential founders, right? Because we are not offering we're offering, right, like business boot camps, like technical boot camps. We're offering mentorship, right? You get direct guidance from the Lisk team itself. So it comes with a full support system to make sure that you succeed as part of this buildathon. And even after the buildathon, right, there are many opportunities for you, right? So this could be joining one of our incubation programs, potentially getting grants, or even like investments from, our own Lisk investment team. So, we are creating a space and a platform for like anybody, right, to be able to test your ideas, learn fast and launch very meaningful projects. And this is the kind of support that, we want to give to builders on the ground, no matter which stage you are at, right? We are here to back you up and support you. So I think this is a meaningful program that we have been running for the third time now. And I think we have done, with BlockDev team, of course, we have done so many like, wonderful outcomes on the ground, right? And this time, we have also the support from sqrDAO as well as ETHPhilippines. And we're excited to be, rolling and scaling Lisk Builders Challenge to reach even more cities across Southeast Asia. So yeah, let me maybe we'll pass it on to Leo to share a little bit more about his perspective.
Okay. So before to Leo, so some quick summary. Yeah. So this is the opportunity for you guys, because what we're doing in here is just not to giving you the grants or the full price for the hackathon, but you will get a totally like one-on-one mentor, even the business side, the community side, how to create and then manage your project and stuff, into the incubation stuff, and then until funding, and then make your project is going well, and then have the real number in the ecosystem. So yeah, that's one of the thing, the biggest, I think this more like exclusive benefit from the Lisk Builder Challenge Round 3 that I could mention. So yeah, okay, now on Leo, take your time.
So this week everyone that I know is at Token 2049 in Singapore. And the reason why I'm not going is because I'm in the middle of running of course I'm joining the Lisk Buildathon, the Lisk Builders Challenge together with some of the team members from the sqrDAO network. So that's one. But I think in general, we have way too many networking events. There's just too many ring and parties and whatever, and it's all fun, right? But it's getting a bit out of hands, right? Like all these flashy events and parties and whatever. I just don't think that's what is gonna bring Web2 people into Web3, right? It's gonna bring some Web2 user into Web3, but I think the majority of the people that actually use all these Web2 consumer apps and retail apps, they don't even understand what Web3 party is all about, right? The Web3 culture is so alien to them. So I think we can, for me, what I've learned in the last 4 years, being like running a Web3 community and whatever, and of course, like running a builders community, and supporting founders. Because my background was actually in Web2 VC, so I used to be a Web2 guy, like investing in like Web2 companies and all that. I think it makes more sense to actually spend time with founders and builders, and help them figure out, like, what kind of problem are they solving, right? What's the PMF? What's the product market fit? What's the go-to-market strategy? And things that actually could help their businesses grow. And a big part of that is to actually be grounded in whatever market you are. Like, for example, for us, it's Vietnam. Like, so we extremely focus on the Vietnam market. All we do day in, day out is just like helping founders and builders, even like the people in our network, right? The members in the spread out ecosystem, the people who try to build stuff, let's say on Lisk. Like basically just find that PMF. And once they kind of find that magic keywords, like, okay, what's the problem I'm trying to solve? Where's the market? What's the solution? And then just help them like grow and scale, right? I think the event like Token 2049 is great when you already have PMF, like when you already have product market fit, and you want to go out there, you want to pitch to investor, you want to find backers, you want to find like foundation people who can support you, blah blah, blah, whatever, and that's great. If you don't have that, I don't think it's a good use of your time, right? Dig in, focus, and just find that PMF, find that magic before you do anything else. So that's my advice for all the founders in Vietnam. Like, every single one I work with is like, don't waste time on networking party, don't waste time on events. Keep your head down, do your homework, study a lot, like study the market, study the industry, study the user that you are serving, study the community that you're serving, and nothing else. And so I think it's the same for every for the amount of market. So you try to build no matter, doesn't matter, right? You try to build a hyper local solution. You try to build like a solution that's only work for the entire South Asia. You try to build a global blockchain solution. The first thing to do is like focus on that PMF magic, right? And I think that's why the builder challenges, like the one that Lisk is running, is great, because there's already like a bunch of problems being laid out. Your job is to find a market fit, and of course the problem solution fit. But that's already halfway. I think identify a good problem to solve is already half the battle, right? So the other half battle, you have to do it, but it's actually does make things a lot easier. And then you get all these kind of support, like grant and funding, and also like mentorship from the Lisk people and then from everybody here. So I think that's quite rare. You don't see that a lot everywhere, not even in Web2. So these kind of builder challenges are great. I think for that reason.
Okay, thank you, Leo, for the answer. So yeah, you guys keep on building, and then maybe put the networking after, when you guys already giving some proving that your product is already market fit and it could be doing so. Later you can go into any kind of event and then pitching your product to any kind of investor. That's what Lisk Builder Challenge round 3 to helping to, right? Okay, so maybe we're gonna move to second question.
Yeah, and second questions. So we already know, like, we already aware that Lisk already have like several events, like builder-centric events throughout this year, especially in 2025 in Southeast Asia regions. So I just wanna get more details from you guys. Of course, like there's a lot of impactful things, but I wanna like, what's the like all specific impacts that you guys already like aware happen in countries specifically that coming from the events that created by Lisk. So currently, maybe start from a gentleman first, from Leo. So yeah, what's the effect from several events created by Lisk on your country?
So actually, a few weeks ago, I say like a month ago, we had like this mini like buildathon, like an 8-week program that we hosted together with Lisk in Vietnam. And so, for that program, we hosted a bunch of workshops and like campaigns, and so we had like a demo day in which Alexis was there, and a bunch of other like people, and also a bunch of Lisk Builders was there. So I think the key difference that we made from that campaign, like that 8-week program, is that actually how a number of builders and founders who's just like looking to solve like real world problems, right? Like I think one team was doing like real yield, from DeFi. It's literally just like you have a USDC, you have like stable coin stuff. You can put it on Lisk protocol, and Lisk DeFi protocol that earn actual BNB yield from these DeFi protocols. Another one is solving like a communal lending. So like, let's say you have like a pool of money coming from real people, and so you use that money from that pool to lend out to people to, let's say, like like farming or whatever. So it's called vui in Vietnam. So roughly translated, it's like community lending, right? You lend from a community pool, and then you make the yield, and then you distribute back to the commune. So these are models that already exist in Web2. So for that program, we realized that there's actually a lot of ways that you can translate this into Web3 models. Like Web3 business model that actually solve real world problems. The whole community lending program. That could easily be done on blockchain with a on-chain ledger and everything, and so everything transparent. So I think that is something that we brought out to the program. And of course, like it onboarded a number of like builders that were looking for, mostly from Web2, right? Who is looking to bring their solution, bring their product onto Web3, or like find new customer, find new opportunities, all that. So I think that's one of the key things we learned from running that. And then and of course that's why we were with a more regional focus, like South Asia as a whole, yes, but also like a hyper local model. Builders, onto the blockchain in general, and fully onto this. So that's the goal. That's what we have.
Okay, nice. So yeah, maybe you guys have to focusing about what the team that Lisk Builder Challenge already have. Yeah, focusing on the product, how to get the market fit in the Southeast Asia. So it's not just only specific in Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, or whatever, but maybe focusing in the Southeast Asia area for your product and market fit. Okay, thank you, Leo.
Okay, before going to Alexis, that covering all the regions, so we want to ask to Christine about what was the impact coming from all builders and events that created by Lisk into your country.
Yeah, so I have a bunch of stories where people who are either interested or in Web3 or very interested in programming started their first project. Like they took the first step, built their MVP, and then tested it out. And from there, some of them actually made it to the national news, which is really fun seeing them develop from like zero to actually building a project, building and making it to the global stage. So Lisk really had a huge role to that. They literally gave us the stage and means to to showcase what they have, what their ideas are, and since they are very new to the space, a lot of them are very novel ideas that are actually very in touch with the consumers, and some of them are very needed in their own localities. So they got the idea that they can actually scale that project into the global scene and have have a wider user base. So that's one. But also the whole community, they gain stronger networks. So teams who first made it became their inspiration, and now more people are having the idea that yeah, maybe actually build this project and turn it into a startup. And that is a huge shift in mindset from having like I'm not sure if this is something that I can pursue, to actually having a global mindset where they can think whether their product can help more users, not just in their locality or within the country, but also users outside the Philippines and in Southeast Asia. So, yeah, those are pretty exciting stories. And also, when Liz visited the Philippines, like when Jason visited Cebu for the first time, they see that, oh, okay, there are people who are also doing it around Southeast Asia. So they feel like they're not alone. So they feel supported, and that some of them that is what gives them the courage to pursue and put their ideas out there.
Well, yes, that's a good things to hear, right? Because not only from in Philippines, but we have support too in government in Indonesia. Like we know, it should be like someone from Creative Economy Ministry
Yeah.
or EKRAF is joining, but they have another schedule. So yeah, we already got it.
Unfortunately,
Yes, yes.
officials have a lot of agenda.
So yeah, we already have that kind of support. Maybe yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys just start like year from now on, and then you become the winner in this literature, and then you get that spotlight from even from the government or news from your area. That's a good thing. I mean, to boost your career, right?
Yeah, and actually, like, happy to hear that you also emphasize on Web3 is enabling us to be global entrepreneurs, right? So wherever you are, you can build a global scale projects, and also like we are enabling like our what one of our mission also like trying to attract Web2 developers and builders to come into Web3. So usually when we're BlockDevID is creating a bootcamp and workshops, like 30%, roughly 30% of them are coming from Web2. They don't have any like Web3 experience yet, so we always happy to see them coming to our events. Okay, so next to wrap up the impact for Southeast Asia region, Alexis, please.
Yeah, so I think all of you have said it like really well. I think like one of the key reason and like key outcomes that we have been looking for is to actually encourage and inspire more people to kickstart the journey on building in Web3. And when we say like building in Web3 is using Web3 to build meaningful use cases. I think like what we see in like the Web3 landscape, I mean predominantly it has been a lot of speculation use cases. And like something that Lisk, what we're trying to do is to put Web3 or put blockchain technology, as an enabler to really solve, a lot of the market gaps or, local problems that we see on the ground in the different markets. And, in the past 2 rounds of Lisk Builders Challenge, we have seen, a lot of different wonderful use cases, right? From across like payments to like consumer use cases to enabling more local decentralized finance. And I think like all of that is like a very big positive outcome for us, because like we're not just looking for like more builders, right? We're looking for more builders who are passionate about using this technology to really better the local economies and make meaningful change. And I think like from what that comes as well is how we can build sustainable businesses around that, right? Because when we talk about blockchain, we do want to make sure that you're not just building a blockchain product, right? You're building a business that is ultimately built and enabled with blockchain technology. And that is also like one of the key focus for this round as well. So when we look at the theme for round 3, we talk about venture ready dApps, right? And what we mean by that is we are not just looking at good products anymore. Like we are looking at businesses, right? So you should not just have a good product, but you should have a good business perspective around it, right? Does it have product market fit, right? Is there a market opportunity around this? Like is this is this like a problem or like significant differentiator that you have, right? Are you building something innovative and unique that others are not building already? So these are like some of the things that we are looking out for this particular round. And something that we are also doing as well is including more business workshops. So even if you are a developer, right, you have not been exposed to a lot of these business subjects through this boot camp. I think Jason has linked it in the chat below. So do take a look at that, right? So we also have Leo who will be touching on several of these business topics that are really important for you to understand, right? So here we are looking at building dApps that have potential, have long-term sustainability, have business potential, and something that VCs or investors would be interested to look at, right? So it's no longer just a product. So we also want builders to also think a bit broader. I think we have like also created a huge pipeline, through the boot camps and workshops that we have run across the different countries. I think like so far in the past few months, I think we have had like over 1,000 developers that has came through like one of our programs, right? And many of these are actually young developers. Maybe they are university students, maybe they have just started learning Web3, maybe they came from Web2, but all of this is something that we feel very heartened about, because that's ultimately like one of the key outcomes for us. We want to see more people try building in Web3, and it's okay if you are new to it. You don't have to do it well, but try, and we will be here to provide you the support and resources to make sure that you can succeed. But you do have, of course, to put in the hard work and the effort yourself. But we want to provide this platform for everybody and inspire more success stories in the respective countries and across Southeast Asia.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Alexis, for Lisk mission in Southeast Asia region. So I hope that all builders in Southeast Asia regions can really grasp this opportunity, because like back then, like all protocols doesn't like having interest in our regions, but now like Lisk is here, so please make the full of it.
Okay then. So we're gonna move to the third question. Maybe you already mentioned about how to see is set up, and then how maybe like actually it's like quite a lot question like if I'm a newbie, is that okay if I'm creating the project? Yeah, it's totally sure, right? That your answer already mentioned about it. It doesn't mean that if you're a newbie you cannot join in this hackathon, because we're gonna give you the mentorship and stuff. So from your perspective, like what is the biggest challenge in Web3 builders that you're facing right now? I think I'm gonna ask, start from this in your point of view, Alexis.
Me?
Yep, I think we can go from you.
Okay, sure. I think like Christine and Leo touched on these a little bit as well, but I think some of the biggest gaps that we see in builders in these markets, I think number one is access to funding, access to resources. I mean, just basically like a lot of the funding, a lot of like the resources are concentrated in like the Web3 hubs, right? For example, in Southeast Asia, it's Singapore. In Asia, it's like, like Hong Kong, Korea. And sometimes just because of like, geographical like boundaries, it can be difficult to get access to, some of these like mentors, for example, some of these resources, or even like funding opportunities, because, the investors, they are just not where you are, right? But what we are trying to do here is to basically bring the resources to funding to these markets, and enable more builders to be able to access this more easily, and have a higher chance and likelihood of succeeding. So that's one, like funding resource. Number two, of course, is like mentorship and guidance, and how we can enable more builders in these markets to be able to access these global expertise, because there are a lot of builders globally distributed as well, right? But again, as a builder who is in, for example, like in Philippines, right, it might be more challenging, right, to be able to access some of these experts on network. So I think that's like number two as well. And through LBC, what we also want to do is to bring more mentors, more support from different areas, not just within Southeast Asia, but also like globally, within the Lisk team, right? To be able to help share some insights and expertise with these builders that can help elevate their project or their startup. Number three as well, I think, is also in terms of, I would say, like fragmentation. So I think like something that we see in like Southeast Asia is like a lot of the countries, like we are still kind of like operating in silos. We're not really like collaborating with one another very much across Southeast Asia. And I think through this LBC as well, why we have scaled this across Southeast Asia is to enable us to have more shared resources, be it in terms of like the funding, the mentorship, and all of that, but also to bring different perspectives to one another. Because I think when we build in Southeast Asia, no matter which country we are building in, ultimately I believe that a lot of the use cases are relevant for the counterparts in other countries. So that is one thing that we want to bring to builders as well, to also start having a more regional and global perspective. So not just thinking from just for your own market, but also thinking how you could also scale this to other markets, and you can now access builders from different countries. There's more opportunities for collaboration. So that's something that we also want to promote and encourage as part of LBC.
Yeah, awesome. I think that's like very unique move from Lisk compared with other protocols that's coming into the regions. You are having like a localization strategy, and we like engage with and we really yeah. And before going to Kristen, so you guys have any questions to so feel free to ask questions. So don't be shy, because like you can reach our awesome speakers here directly. Yeah. Okay. Next, Christine, please. What's the challenge you have in Philippines?
Yeah, I think Alexis gave the one of our main challenge, which is access to resources, which is understandable because our geography, like in Indonesia, we're in an archipelago, and so most of the solutions that our members have is regional. So this gave us an opportunity to like check what the other regions are doing, actually see what other countries like Indonesia and Vietnam are also doing. So it's a way for us to check what can be built around Southeast Asia. So but yeah, aside from just access, we also have a lot of a lot of challenges when it comes to changing the mindset of the builders. Like they don't even realize like what's possible in Web3. They have a lot of them have heard of crypto trading. There is a bunch of consumer related communities around the Philippines, but not a lot when it comes to builders. So they do know about crypto trading, but they're not aware that they can actually build apps and it's actually easy, and they can build tooling. So this kinds of things limit the talent pipeline for us. So one of our major mission is to change that kind of mindset that crypto is just for gambling. So another thing is that I think it's also about funding, because even if someone has a very good idea, and and we can see that it's very promising. We know that sustaining it after the hackathon is very, very hard. So even in non-Web3 startups, it's also a struggle with Filipino startups. So yeah, there's a huge gap between prototyping and actually venturing the startup out there. So the last thing I think our challenge is that we have some infrastructure challenge, like our internet are sometimes unstable. I mean, there are regions outside the major cities like Cebu and Davao that don't have stable access to internet, and sometimes the electricity is not even that constant. So yeah, the infrastructure is one, but that's also the reason why most Filipinos flock to major cities so that they can have better internet, they can have better infrastructure, more connectivity, and yeah, we do hope that these challenges and some of them are already partially addressed with programs like the Buildathon. So yeah, and also one of the toughest parts is like proving Filipino credibility when it comes to the builder space. Uh, there was already a stigma that Filipinos are only business developers or non-technical people. So yeah, some people are asking themselves, can I actually do this as a career? They don't see a lot of role models in the local space. So one of our mission is to have build a lot of local role models so that people get inspired to build and actually create a startup and do businesses out of their ideas. So yeah, that's those are some of the challenges. I know there are still more, but maybe those are the immediately addressable things that we have.
Okay, nice. Thank you, Christine. So yeah, I think that's the thing what you guys in the Philippines. So basically, again, we are creating this military road tree is into Southeast Asia. So it's not just only for Indonesia. It's in the Lisk Builder Challenge round two that we're creating in Southeast Asia. So yeah, feel free anyone if you guys wanna do any kind of product, just make sure you check the portfolio and then check the idea bank if you don't think that you don't have the idea to creating this kind of project. For sure, we're gonna make it. Uh, Helping you guys in any step start from the creating the project and stuff because
Yeah.
we will have the workshop too like
Yeah.
we have the boot camp that you can already find in the text message in call message that
Yeah.
Jason already put the registration link for the boot camp. It's
Yeah.
online, so yeah. Okay, so before we gonna move around, I think I'm gonna giving the space to Leo, like
Yeah. Before
yeah,
answering to
answering
Aqua.
the aqua
Yeah.
question. Yes.
Okay, Leo, please.
Uh, well, I mean, I think the ladies already cover it all. So I guess for Vietnam in particular, we are a very developer focused country. I think there was some mention somewhere that like I think the number of smart contract code lines being written by Vietnamese developers like rank third in the world, something like that. Like so that's probably after like Indian devs and like Chinese dev. Well, Chinese and Indian dev probably like number one, number two, up and down, right? So that being said, being good developer does not mean you are good founders, right? So you can create really good products and all that, but how do you actually make that ship it to the market? How do you actually turn it into a business? Stuff like that. So I think one thing that could really be helpful for Vietnamese builders, given the fact that a lot of them are actually technical founders more than non-technical founders, will be to help them with anything that isn't on the technical side. Anything from like business to growth to marketing, all of that are necessary, right? So I've spent a number of years in the past, like just working with really like I guess degen people who start from traders or they start from like community builders. They became founders in their own right. And one thing I think that they all have in common is that they had to go through a very lengthy process of like learning how to become a founder, like not just about like figuring out the business model, figuring out the growth strategy, figuring out like all these things, but also how to become like a leader, right? So I guess two things that could be help for founders, and again, these are programs that we can actually pull resources together to make that recommendation. Like one, like create more leaders, more company leaders, more corporate leaders. And number two is like create more well-rounded founders, right? So not just like technical people or like non-technical people, but also like people who actually know how to run a business. So yeah, I think for my take that's it. This program is a great way to do that. Like pull the resource together from various organizations and parties, and just help make founders better people, right? But better business people. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I think like builders and developers in Southeast Asia region is not in terms of quality is not lose against India and China. So we just need to encourage them more because a lot of builders are shy and they don't wanna like move to Web3 from Web2. They just need to realize what's the opportunity that they can get in our industry.
Okay then. So we have question in here before we move to the question for our panelists. Like Akmal is already asking in the chat box if you could see like. So actually the answer is Jason Yapri has already giving you the idea. I mean, like previously that we already tell you like if you are newbie that you are just have some basic knowledge about the technical stuff in that you mentioned here. You only know about how to creating an ERC20 and an ERC721. So yeah, you can joining the bootcamp that we already prepared for you guys, and then you can create the team in our Discord, like in Listy Discord, right? Yeah, you can find the team there. You can creating any kind of project, and then you can refer to the idea bank that we already put into the value, the folio. So that's why it's totally like friendly for newbie. If you like, you don't have any friend, you don't have any team, then you can create in the bootcamp stuff. So but after that, maybe I'm gonna ask Alexis if you wanna have do some additional answer
Yeah.
for Akmal from the
And
chat
also
box.
actually it's aligned for our next questions.
Yes.
Like what's any tips for newbie builders, particularly like to succeed on carrying proposals, on joining the hackathons, and also how to learn uh, Web3 spaces like for the beginners. Yeah, please, Alexis.
Yeah. So in the chat, you will see that Jason has dropped the idea bank. So we have designed the idea bank actually around some of the key focus areas that Lisk, we are very interested in and have been looking at. And when you look at this idea bank as well, do bear in mind that this is just a starting point. These are just some references or inspiration for you to look at. Right. Ultimately, when you're thinking about building your own idea or building your own project, I think what's most important as well is this should be an idea or like a topic that you yourself is interested in, because when you build, you should think of building for the long term, right? This would be something that you're already passionate about or very interested in, something that or even like a problem that you are passionate about in solving, or see a huge market opportunity or market gap in, right? So I think number one, that's very important, right? And a lot of the use cases that you have seen in the idea bank as well revolves around what we call real world use cases. Right? For example, like one of the most important topics for us is stable coins and payments, right? So how can we enable citizens in like Indonesia, for example, to be able to pay more seamlessly, not just within Indonesia, but also across other countries, right? So like one of the key topics as well is remittances, for example, right? A lot of foreigners working, a lot of like Indonesians working in like overseas countries, and they struggle to, send money back home, right? And stable coins is, actually like one of the best solutions, right, to address some of these problems, right? So that's kind of like a starting point, right, on how we approach what kind of ideas to build around. So like what we would usually recommend is find a problem or find a market gap that you can back yourself, right, or see yourself building for the next, like at least in the short term, a few years, like 1 to 2 years, because if you really get started on this journey, you want something that you of course can commit to and interested in, right? And number two, in terms of like like what would really help set you apart from other projects as well, is to also have a very well thought through business model, right? So it's not just about revenue, right, but also in terms of what is the scalability potential of your project, right? Is your use case also relevant to other markets? Can you scale this to other domains, for example? And if you are to go to market, right, you want to bring your application to market, how are you going to get users? How are you going to get people to start and try your application. So these are also like important things to think about. And when you are able to kind of articulate that very clearly, and understand that very clearly yourself, I think you have built yourself a good business case that will really set yourself apart, from a lot of like other, I would say, like Web3 projects in the space, right? Because you're building for the long term, right? You're not just building a product, but something that you can actually foresee yourself growing, and have confidence, and have a clear idea or path to success, right? So I would say, like, these are some of the important points to take note. But for like Angmao, if you're new, do read through the idea bank. You can also reach out to the team if you have any questions. We also are going to have office hours as well, so if you just want to validate or test out your ideas with the team, you can feel free to also just book a slot, kind of chat with us, and we can also give you some immediate feedback on what might work and what might not.
Okay, thank
Very
you.
much.
Thank you so much, Alexis, for the answer. And then, so Akmal, hope you got the answer. It's already like fully answered. So, but it's not for Akmal only. I mean, it's for everyone. So yeah. Okay, so thank you again for our speaker, because I think this is the time that we have to uh during the end of the session. I think before we do the closing remark, I'm just gonna giving you some another reminder about this list builder challenge round 3. As we already do the open submission, you can check us into our social media in Lisk and then in BlockDevId, in ETHPhilippines, and then with any kind of sqrDAO and any kind of our partner in social media. And then you can check the link into our portfolio too, that Jason already provided since the first beginning of this AMA. Thank you, Jason, for your helpful thought with the link and stuff. So yeah, so don't forget to joining our hackathon with your best idea, and joining the bootcamp for sure for your own knowledge. So maybe okay.
Yeah, before we ending up the sessions, so we will finalize the sessions with the closing remarks for each speakers. Okay, so let's start from Christine.
Yeah. So, is this the final message, or do you want me to answer the previous question?
Final message is fine.
Yeah. Okay. So, for those who are thinking of joining, good luck. And for those who are still on the fence, I know there are a lot of Filipinos with brilliant ideas, but they pre-disqualify themselves. So, uh, first, don't overthink it, because there's a 10-day bootcamp happening this October. So if you're not quite confident about your technical knowledge, or you think blockchain is too complicated, then I highly recommend that you join that bootcamp by Lisk. That's the first one, and uh, yeah, so it really means to us, because it gives it gives the Philippines a chance to prove that builders from places like Cebu, Davao, and anywhere can be shoulder to shoulder with the global community. So yeah, if you're starting small, that's good, but find people who share your drive and just ship it. We are going to test it later. ETH is going to support you. This is going to support you. The government, the OSC, is actually supporting us as well. So yeah, just show up and ship it.
Nice job. Okay, thank you, Christian, for your closing remark. And then, hopefully all the audience will getting that kind of encouragement and joining the Lisk Builder Challenge Round 3 with all their base idea that we already provide. Thank you. Okay, so Leo, could you give us some closing remark to the audience for tonight kickoff?
Sure. I mean, I think I agree what Christine said, right? You're new to blockchain, new to Web3. First thing you can do is like take advantage of the free resources. That's of course, buy this program, buy the Lisk Bootcamp, but also like other sources in the community. I think joining different like builders and founder community is a great way to get started. And again, not just in Lisk, I think in general, like think the blockchain space by itself is growing very fast. And crypto assets are becoming legalized everywhere. So, it's a great way to start the journey. Like I might make some actual money on chain, and from there maybe eventually become the founder of your own project. Starting with these programs, of course, like you don't win something. It's not the end of the world, right? Take advantage of the resources and the network and the learnings that you take out of these programs, like the Builder Challenge, and use that for your advantage, like moving forward. I've seen a number of people in our community, like very young kids who, and they actually got to know me, like as I would either judging one of these like programs or like just be a mentor on these programs, and eventually they became our members. And so I've seen them grow from being completely newbies to someone who are super degen, actively running their own community, running their own project. So yeah, I'd love to see more of that. I'd love to see more beginners, work beginners who eventually become the expert. And then I think we're all here for that. We're all here to witness their journey, and then hopefully they succeed. So super excited about what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's great. Like from BlockDevId also, we're really happy to show all of our blockchain hackathons winners from Indonesia. So I hope that there will be more and more hackathons winners, and also of course builders who build a global scale project, dApps that being used globally from Southeast Asia, from Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia. Yeah, hopefully to see that in the future. And okay, so final closing remarks from Liz. Please, Alexis.
Thank you, everyone. So, as we come to the close of the session, I just want to thank everyone for joining again. We are really excited to see what you guys will bring to Builders Challenge Round 3. So very much looking forward to it. And please don't forget to, sign up for the free bootcamp. So it's going to be starting next Wednesday on 8th of October. So that's going to be when the first session is going to be held. So, if you're new to Web3, you're not too sure where to start, the bootcamp is the best place to start, right? You will learn all you need to know, not just from a technical perspective, but also a business perspective, right? So do check that out. The link is in the chat. Also follow our Telegram as well. Join our Telegram group if you have not. Can someone put the link in the chat? So join the group. If there's any questions, can feel free to ask any of our friendly ambassadors in the group. Someone will be able to support you. And also follow all of our Twitter account as well, right? We will also be posting regular updates. And of course, we also have more information about office hours out soon. Most likely, towards the end of the bootcamp. So also do keep a lookout for that, right? So the purpose of that is to make sure that, you get mentorship as well. And, you have someone to validate and test out ideas with you. Looking forward to it. Yes, thanks, Fuji. So please check out the link in the chat, right? So all the resources that you need to know is there. And as always, right, if there's any questions you have, like even after this EMA, feel free to reach out to any of us for support. Yeah, so super excited. Thank you again for joining, and looking forward to see you guys during the bootcamp and during the demo day for Lisk Builders Challenge.
Thanks, Alexis. So before we end it up, maybe we can have a conversation together. Maybe Jason, you wanna lead, or Jason you wanna lead?
Sure. So, Pham, thank you, everyone. Let's just open our camera for the documentation session. If internet is not an issue, please open your camera right now, and we can go for the documentation session. Okay. Okay, let's just wait for more people right here to join. and open their camera. Let's see if there are more people still waiting. Still waiting right here. Maybe let's just wait for another 10 seconds. Okay, so I guess we can start in 3, 2, 1. Freeze. Okay, wait. Another one. 3, 2, 1. Freeze. All right. I think I got it already. Giving back the mic to BlockDevId.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Thank you, everyone, to already being participate in our AMAK file. Don't forget to check, or maybe you just copy and paste all the text in the chat box that you can find about the bootcamp link, about the Defolio link, about our hackathon, and then about the Telegram, Discord, and stuff. So feel free if you guys need any kind of help to contact BlockDev, Lisk, or ETHPhilippines, and also sqrDAO. Yeah, we will love to help you guys with all the hackathon. So we want to welcoming all of you guys to create a good project that is ready to being funded and then being to running the project itself. So yeah, that's it from me.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Good night. Stay tuned for our next events with Liz. Okay.
Okay, thank you, speaker.
you.
Thank you, Alexis.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.